This is the time of year I get really nervous because things start to get long and lanky, and you're just like not even a week. If I can have these are ready to go into the ground. These are ready. They've been ready for, I dare say, a week and a half. Maybe a week. I'm not going to say a week and a half, but a week and a couple of days, whatever. Because these are really starting to get long and lanky. Now, with tomatoes, I'm not too worried about it. We all know you can bury tomatoes. But they do start to get, smacked around, because you're trying to, like I always say, you're trying to, I'm watering these, by the way. You're sitting here and you're trying to, get these plants out the door and watch them where the cat is, and the dog's like wondering what you're doing. And next thing you know, or kid, I've had, kids, I'm sure, they're all just kind of like hanging out by the door while you're trying to get out the door with a whole tray of things to harden off, and, things get bumped around, it happens. And it makes me really nervous because things are starting to get long and lanky, things are starting to look a little, weird. And, I would have sworn and I know I'm very upset, and I'm going to be honest. I'm honest with you people. We're honest. I'm an honest gardener. And, I thought, that's why I let things dry out. And I was spraying dew on them every night, I'm thinking I'm going to be like Mama and I'm going to have dew all over. And I don't know. I just things started to look things like that. And I would have sworn I seen a gnat. I seen a fly eat something, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, because I cooked this dirt. I went to, and I'm like, no way can there be gnats. So I started hardening them off. I'm like, okay, we're gonna. I have one day, like I said, we got a few days before we're getting, before we have our last frost date. And I got one, maybe possible frost date in the next 10. In fact, actually in the past 10 and 10, the past two 10 forecasts, if that makes sense. It does me because I read forecast in tens. So 10 days forecast. And I don't ever I just look at the 4-day because that's what it is. It's like, I want to know. And like I said, I'm ready. I've seen so many signs. There's so many signs out there, that it's time. I mean, I think I'm getting different insects I'm seeing and stuff like that. So, yeah, getting things hardened off. And maybe by next week, some of these will actually be in the ground. Well, garden boxes. And these will be in the ground, garden box ground. But, and these right here, I've been wintering these off. Wintering them over, I meant. Now got to harden them off, These things that made it through the year. I still got my rain lilies down here. I still got those in a bag way down there. See, those are can lily and rain lily. And I keep them that way all winter. And then I'm going to probably take them out real soon and start to water them, and they'll slowly come alive. I've been doing this for years. Ken lilies, I would like to put them in the ground. I just haven't found the right place yet. That and other reasons. But here's my lantanas. I've been wintering these over for the past, I dare say, this will be the 3rd season. And up here is it's a monster. Oh shoot. I forgot its name. Asparagus fern. Yeah, that thing is huge. And I think this is the 3rd or 4th year on that. Hard, keeping them over winter. And these are things that keep over winter besides my elephant ears and cannas, but those were in my crawl space. But by the end of this week, all of these things. Besides, I don't know about my Christmas cactus. I don't think I'm going to take them out. I've never taken them out. But everything else is going to be outside. This whole thing is going to be like empty besides like a couple Christmas cactus. And I just might take those out this year. We'll see how the weather is. And then we have this, which I kept all winter. I transplanted it, and, well, that gardenia isn't looking too happy. I think I got it too wet. So we're going to let that dry out. And I think that's what was happening with me, because the temperature is getting warmer in here during the day, which brings up the humidity. And then you have all this, me spraying every night. And I don't think it's letting the dirt get dry enough in between. And that's probably why things are starting to get too much water. Too much water, I believe, is what my problem is here. So I need to back off on the water, but I did let everything get really dry. You're looking at it going, but the trays are wet. The trays are wet because I just watered them. But I hadn't watered them, and that's why they look so loopy. Loopy? No, that's not the right word. Droopy. There's the word. Loopy, droopy. Is because I think they were starting to get too wet, and then I let them dry out, and they got droopy again, and then I watered them very lightly, and they soaked it right up. So yeah, it's a critical, scary time of the year for me. This is when I've already got a couple casualties, I'm not gonna lie. One of these broke. I had 4 of these, and one broke, and it's gone. Once it snaps, it's gone. I've had tomatoes, like, look at this one. This is not a happy camper. This guy is not. He's not having it. He's upset. So, and that does look like it either, I'm not sure. It could have gotten too dry and then too wet, or not sure what would cause that. Guess I'm going to have to look it up. But like I said, by the end of the week, by next week, these might be in the ground. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping by next week, all of these tomatoes and peppers will be in the ground and fully, harden off, to where they, like I said, each day you bring like 50